Everybody, Father Peter here, Tuesday of Holy Week. I've moved Jesus over my right shoulder. This is an icon that I've had for years and years and years, very dear to me. But I have it there as Jesus as teacher, because that's much of what is happening here on Tuesday of Holy Week. As you remember from yesterday's video, the readings that we have come from John's Gospel. Just want to say a word about that. Jesus, again, is staying in Bethany at the home of Martha and Mary and Lazarus. He comes up over the top of the Mount of Olives and down through the Kidron Valley and up into Jerusalem, up into the temple area, a very big area. And there, while Jesus is there, the Greeks come, okay? The Greeks come and they say to Philip, we want to see Jesus. And Philip goes to Andrew, remember James and John and Peter and Andrew, these are the brothers from the Galilee, and they say, we want to see Jesus. The two come, Philip and Andrew, come to Jesus, and they say, the Greeks have come to see him. Now, for Jesus, this is a turning point. The Greeks, the Gentiles, are coming to see him. In the synoptic tradition, of course, we have the Acts of the Apostles, with the gospel going to the Gentiles, with the coming of the Holy Spirit, and everybody pouring into the streets, and St. Paul taking the gospel to the Gentiles. In John's gospel, that movement begins right here on the second day of Holy Week, that Tuesday. And Jesus' response is, the hour has now come. Boom, the hour has now come. Jesus knows that the hour has come for his glorification. This glorification meaning this crucifixion and his resurrection and his ascension. This is Jesus' glorification. It's an all-in act of the Father through Jesus. Very importantly, Jesus then goes on to say, and when I am lifted up, okay, when I'm lifted up, this is Jesus on the cross. John's gospel has a very different theology than the other gospels about what is happening on the cross. You may remember from Mark's gospel, Jesus is the victim. Psalm 22, verse 1, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Not in John's gospel. In John's gospel, Jesus rules the world from the cross. And when I am lifted up, I will draw all people to myself. This is the divine magnet. This lifting up, as you may remember, back from the story of Exodus, when they were being stung by the snakes, they took the snake and put it up on the cross, and people were healed. That echo is all the way to Jesus' cross. That's what he's referring to when he says, and when I am lifted up. He then goes on to say that this coming is this moment of glorification, and he's saying it for everybody's edification, hence Jesus the teacher, and Jesus the teacher. In the Synoptic Gospels, I hope you'll remember that Mark is the basis for Matthew and for Luke, Mark being the earliest gospel. And on Tuesday of Holy Week, in Mark's gospel, we have a very, very long discourse. It goes from chapter 11 all the way into 13. These are the longest portions of Jesus' teaching in Mark's gospel. And there you will recognize so many of the parables, so many of the teachings of Jesus that we make as central to our tradition. It is Tuesday and Holy Week. I'm so touched that you are walking with Christ during this time. And may his holiness come to you on this Holy Tuesday. Peace be with you.